I bought every Halloween build and decor item so you didn't have to. So let's talk about each and every one of them and if they're worth it. Now today wasn't nearly as expensive as when previous builds were added into the game, but the Lego Pass was 1,400 V-Bucks with an additional 1,400 in order to max it out, as well as another 1,800 to get the brand new bundle there as well. Now in total, we got 5 buildings and over 20 decor bundles. And obviously keep in mind, you do not need to purchase every single level. Doing the battle pass is extremely quick and easy, and a lot of people are already nearly halfway through this. So get your weeklies, dailies, and sandbox dailies done as quick as you can to unlock even more decor and builds. Now let me start off with this. I originally wasn't too happy about buying these builds because I didn't think that they would look that great when it came to this game, especially considering the fact that we don't have a designated spooky area of our map. After taking a look at these actually built, what I noticed is they do still stand out and still do hold that Halloween style to them, despite the fact that there isn't a spooky area of our map. Even though it's just regular nighttime in my world, all of these builds still look incredible. Now another thing that I love about these buildings is that on the inside we have these green lit windows as well as purple walls. And whether you have an illuminator charm, a torch, or put lights in here, you really don't need any of that, as the purple walls and the green light are bright enough to keep the inside of these buildings lit even without the use of any lamps. Now the thing that I absolutely love about the decor items is you both have items that are extremely small, but also some that are very large, and because of this you could pretty much put these decor items anywhere on the map, which makes it extremely fun. The other thing that's really nice about this is they are so small in some instances that it makes for very nice actual decor items just going around little areas similar to my village hub area like this, that just gives it nice lighting and makes it look really clean. Now something else that I'm a sucker for is very unique style of decor or build items. You guys know when we got the lighthouse, I was very interested in the fact that we were getting curved buildings into the game, which is definitely something that I think all of us can be appreciative of. The same exact thing kind of happens with these decor bundles where you have very unique decor, just like these lights, which are dangling lights that aren't in a straight line. They're very loose and offer a very nice type of design around the village when placing these down. Now just another reminder, if you guys forgot, there is a very nice filter button inside of your build menu, which allows building and decorating so much easier, especially when it comes to getting new bundles like this. So try to use that filter button as much as you possibly can. That way you're only using Halloween items when you're building in these areas. Now the first thing that I want to take a look at is the free build that we get from the Lego Pass, which is the dump on Old Durrr Drive. This is going to cost you just granite and wood, and not that much of it either. Now there are a few downsides to this build, but being extremely cheap and only requiring granite and wood is definitely a positive. Now one of the downsides to this that I believe is that there aren't enough areas to actually put decorations because these walls are extremely slim, as well as there's too many windows to try to cover up. Outside of that, it is just a very open area, which isn't the greatest either unless you put some workspace in here for your villagers. Outside of that, the positives are you get this black roof as well as all of these purple walls and doors, which does look really good in the game right now. Now the building behind us is called the eyesore of Eerie Avenue, and this build is by far one of my favorites. Yet again, it requires granite and wood and not that much of it, but you are going to need different items such as glass, wooden rod, copper bar, and planks. The bright news to this is that if you put your villagers on the metal smelt job, they will give you glass and copper bar for free, which makes it extremely easy to get the ingredients to this build. Now another part of this that is definitely going to be overlooked is what you get when you go into the ceiling. You're going to have these very slick black rooftops here, which do look very nice. They also have a very weird curve to them, which is going to leave for some very creative buildings. Now let's take a look at the Creaker on Bleeker Street, which actually ends up being my least favorite build out of any one of these inside of both the Lego Pass and the purchasables. So as far as the materials needed for this, it's granite, wood, glass, wooden rod, and plank. So we actually remove the need of actually having any type of copper bar with this, which does overall make it a little bit cheaper, but I will explain a little bit deeper as to why I'm not that big of a fan of this build. Now, when you take a look at the inside of this building, you would already know that it's very narrow and small on the inside, which is something I'm not that big of a fan of. I like when my buildings are wide, or at least can serve a purpose as far as even housing some of my villagers. This is more of a decorative piece because you do have this balcony on the outside, which definitely would look extremely nice if I put down any type of decor items like sitting areas, pumpkins, and anything along those lines. Again, as you're walking in and up these stairs, you see that it's just essentially a tower, which doesn't serve much purpose to me really at all. Now, here is my favorite build. This is the Ruin of Rue Royale, which is going to be the most costly build that we have, nearly having 400 granite, 400 wood, over 100 glass, 76 wooden rod, and a ton of planks. Now, the reason why I love this build so much is it actually kind of has a few features from all of the other buildings. This one has this open doorway up front and up top, as well as larger and more open areas as far as to build things inside of here. So a really nice place to put down a few workbenches or workstations for your villagers to work on, as well as having these open decks both down low and upstairs for you to decorate with, whether you're putting sitting areas, tables, pumpkins, spooky decor, or anything else in there. You have very open areas on those balconies to do that. I also really like the upstairs because you also get two balconies up here, as well as the fact that you have some pretty open area here too. So you do have the balconies to place pretty much the same style of decor down low, but again, these large scale open rooms that you can put more workstations and different things that you want to have villagers actually working in. You also have a backside balcony here, which is pretty large, and a backside balcony for even more decor. Now, the final build that we have to take a look at here is the Halloween Town Hall. Now, the Halloween Town Hall has a pretty expensive list of items. We have granite, cord, glass, pumpkin, silk fabric, wooden rod, bright core, bone, and wood. Now, a lot of that is because you are actually putting some decor on here directly from the prefab, but there are a few things that I really like about this build, and then a lot that I really don't like. The thing that I'm going to say I don't like is that it is way too specific of a prefab build with not much to actually do on the inside of this. The thing that I really like about it is that these walls are pointing out and not straight up or in, which is a very unique way to actually do some custom builds in the game. The other thing I'm not too big of a fan of is the castle walls around here, as again, those are something that we have way too many of. The pieces individually are really unique, which does make this build pretty solid, but outside of that, as an overall building, I don't think that it's all that great. Now, keep in mind, for a Halloween update for us, we may not have gotten everything that we wanted as far as in-game content goes, but these builds will definitely go along much better when it comes to getting actual Halloween drops in our survival worlds. We're 2 months behind as far as our updates go, thanks to Klombo originally being scheduled for July and returning into the game in September. That would honestly mean that instead of getting this update in October, we would get it more so in November. So hopefully, with that being said, all of this content as far as these builds go look much better in the game when it comes to that time period, and we get more decor items at that time. For me, this bundle is definitely a W, and I do recommend you guys to get it, as it is one of the better ones in the game. It doesn't cost that much in comparison to some of the other castle builds, Durrr builds, or shore biome builds. So for the most part, this is pretty cheap, and you do get a lot of decor for it. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below, and as always, guys, this was Crafty, and I'm out. Peace. But YouTube thinks that you're gonna like that video that's up there in the top left, and you may also want to hit that subscribe button in the top right. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace.